Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Spotlight Friday. So excited to be here, and I can't believe the outstanding response I've had from people that want to do this and be a part of this and be our Spotlight guests. And this week is no exception with how awesome people are because we have another Spotlight guest, and this week is Cassie. Cassie comes from way far away from me. She's a Western girl, which is great because this gives us good coverage for the entire state. So welcome, Cassie. Thank you for doing this week. I'm so excited to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us who you are, what you do. And I know you work for the association, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Cassie LaRue. I live in Kearney. I'm the walk manager actually for Central and Western Nebraska. So I manage our walks that happen here in the Tri-Cities, Kearney, Grand Island, and Hastings, and then North Platte. I've been with the association since 2016, so it'll be 5 years here in August, which is crazy. I know time flies when you're having fun. But I'm just really excited to do the show and to, like you said, to include some more of the state and get the word out about the longest day.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I'm so glad that we got someone from the walk manager part of the association because we've really touched on, the longest day people. We've now touched on the advocacy side of it. And so now we get to talk to somebody that works with the walk side of it and also does something for the longest day. So thank you, Cassie, for being a part of the show this week. I'm super excited to have you. And to be that many cities, man, you've got to be super busy with the walk, having Kearney and Hastings, North Platte. I mean, that really pretty much covers the western part of Nebraska minus Scotts Bluff and that type of area. And I'm sure I know we've got somebody out there as well. How do you manage all that?
I drink a lot of coffee. Um, it helps. It helps that I love what I do. Like you said, Walk and Longest Day are different events. They're different fundraising events, buckets, if you will. But truthfully, it doesn't matter because all of the money goes to the association for research, advocacy, support, and ultimately finding and celebrating that first survivor.
Absolutely. And what a day that will be when we actually get to have someone carry the white flower at the walk. And if you've never been part of the walk, you guys, you must go and register to do this. It is so much fun. You get to see so many people. The flower garden, I have to say, is probably the most emotional part about the event. And we right now usually have a little kid that carries that white flower up there. And it's that hope that someday that we have that first survivor. That's why we use that little kid and we have that white flower. And I personally, and I know Cassie's probably right there with me, I can't wait to see that white flower being held by an actual survivor. And that will be a day to celebrate. Like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. In that search for that first survivor, that is why I love what I do. And I, get involved, it's not just my job, it's something that I get to be passionate about when I wake up every day. I get to know that what I'm doing makes that difference. And I always joke, I'm like, I can't wait to work myself into early retirement. When I don't need to be here, then I will be so excited. Not because I don't love my job and all of the people that I work with, but just because, it's so important for so many families to have that.
Absolutely. And Terry and I always joke about that. And everybody at the association, we joke about how awesome it would be to put you guys out of a job. The only profession I know that would be so excited, the employees would be celebrating that they didn't have to come back tomorrow. Like that
Absolutely.
would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you're right. Not to want to be out of a job or, not be able to go to work again, but the idea of why you don't have to go back to work again, that to me is just the greatest awesome feeling to have. So good for you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for what you do, Cassie. That's awesome.
Uh,
So because this is a longest day spotlight thing, and we love talking about the other events that the association has, we've talked about the football, and a couple weeks ago we had the ice skaters, which is amazing. Cassie also does something for the longest day. And so that's why we have her on the program this week. We'd like to know, Cassie, what are you doing for the longest day this year? I know this is going to be fun because we talked about it. I can't wait for the listeners and the people watching to find out what you're going to do. They may want to come and see you.
Yes. So one thing that I do, you mentioned, I stay pretty busy. I have a 5-year-old boy who is very active. So we're out and about, and I feel like we're running constantly. So 8 o'clock is bedtime and subsequently mom time. So every week, every couple of weeks, I take some time. I just set aside the evening. I turn on whatever ridiculous thing I'm watching right now. It's Catfish. So if you know, like some of that guilty pleasure drama. That's where I'm at right now. But I do my nails. So I use it's just like a really simple powder dip. It doesn't take me that long at all. But it's kind of my me time and I can turn my brain off a little bit. And I think that it is so important for all of us who have busy lives. I mean, we're all running constantly. I think our brains are pulled in 100 different directions. And so it's so important for us to take just a little bit of time to slow down and to reconnect. And so, whether that be with yourself or with another person, especially right now with COVID, things have been hectic. And I feel like somebody said flat people, and that made me laugh so hard. So I think about that when I'm on Zoom calls. I think about flat people. It's great to have this video chat, but it's different when you have that in-person element. And so what I am doing is Manny's for Minds. So for moms out there or women who are busy running around, just kind of inviting them to say, hey, let's take an hour, let's sit down, I'll do your nails. We'll be obviously appropriate with masks and making sure we take all of the precautions we need to for everybody to be healthy and safe. But just taking some time to do nails. So I have probably over 100 different colors because like I said, this is what I do. Um, so right now I'm rocking some blue and some gold. I think last I was just wearing purple, so I missed I missed it right here, but I wear a lot of purple. I know you'd never guess that.
Would
Um,
never, ever guess that.
right, right. So it's just an opportunity to kind of reconnect. I'm just asking for a $15 donation to go, which if you think about it, you go and get your nails done at the salon, it's going to be at least probably $30. So it's cheaper. It goes to a good cause. It's a great chance to sit down and reconnect. If there are any guys out there that say, man, my hands are looking a little ratchet and I need a little bit of help, I can do that too. I won't put any pretty colors unless you want. I can absolutely do it if you want to. But if you say, man, I just need them trimmed up a little bit, I've got all the tools. So just here to do something that's fun and relaxing. It's something I enjoy doing. Like I said, just having that kind of one-on-one connection. And I think that's so important, especially, for those of us who have been caregivers, who are caregivers. It can be so incredibly stressful. And so just making sure that you're taking that time to take care of yourself, to have an hour of just being you, because I feel like in a normal world where you're just, your mom or your dad or, your employee, you do all of these things, that's great. But then when you add in the stress of being a caregiver to somebody who is living with Alzheimer's or dementia, it's a whole new ballgame. And so making sure that you take that time to refill your cup because you can't pour from an empty cup. And so knowing that, we're here for you. So, I have friends who are my age that I graduated with. And, one lost her mom to early onset when we were in college. One is facing an early onset diagnosis with her dad right now. I mean, that is crazy to me. So knowing that, I can sit down with those gals, their money goes to a good cause, but we can talk about those things and it's a safe place. And if it's somebody who says it's a great cause, I don't have a personal connection, you know what? We'll gab about the weather, how terrible allergies are right now, whatever that looks like. I'm just excited to get to connect a little bit with people and to support a good cause.
That's awesome. I mean, talk about nailing a cure. Boom. Like, like
Yes.
seriously, that's all I could see and hear when you say
Yes,
that. That's awesome.
exactly.
Cassie and I actually, when I asked her to do this, I told her a couple years ago I had tried doing manicure. Men go in, get a manicure, and if you chose to, you could put the ribbon of what you were supporting. Mine was obviously Alzheimer's dementia, and then on the other ring finger, using something that reminded you of that person that you might be caring for, or that you know, or something that would be correlating to them. And so I had the purple ribbon on this ring finger, and I had a music note on this ring finger to signify the music that my grandmother and my mother gave to me. So I'll be honest, women out there that may be coming to see you, maybe you could have some fun like that. And even the guys, how fun, it is so relaxed. I will be honest, I may do some fun colors on my nails now and again, depending on what's going on. But having a manicure just gives you that time, like you said, Cassie, to calm down, relax, center yourself, and having that conversation with a live person right there in front of you is so much better and a lot different than what you, like you said, flat people. That's all you get to see anymore. And unfortunately, that's what we're in right now. But how awesome. Thank you, Cassie, for putting something together like that. That is so cool. I love the fact that you've taken the idea of raising money for the Alzheimer's Association, but also giving a little bit back to people that, have to take care of people that just need to kind of reset themselves. That's awesome. Wonderful. Thank you, Cassie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's one thing I absolutely love about the longest day is, I'm obviously going to do this leading up to June. It's not something that's going to happen all on the longest day, but I love the longest day because it gives you a chance to do the things that you love and to share that with other people while also sharing your passion about the association and about ending Alzheimer's disease. And it's an exciting way to get people involved who might not traditionally be involved. I mean, not everybody has a connection to the disease. I think a lot of people do, but not everybody does. And it gives them a chance to say, hey, I want to be involved in this, kind of chill, laid back way. And so I think it's exciting. I love to see what other people are doing because I think it's an awesome way to reflect on the passions of everybody who is involved, especially statewide. You know, I know that you have talked to so many different people who are doing different things. In my job capacity, I've seen people on the longest day who have done barbecues or who have done, horse riding type events. I mean, so many different things. And I think it's just a great reflection of all the different personalities that are impacted by this disease. It's not just senior care. It's not just, our older folks who are facing this disease. It's people who are younger. It's people who have lives and passions and, talents that are far outside the scope of the disease.
Absolutely. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I put this show together, was to showcase everybody and all the things that they do and love to do. And maybe it's something that their loved one loved to do. So they got into it to really motivate the hope and the promise for a cure one day. And we're hoping that by these videos as well, that people get some more ideas of what to do, or realize, hey, I actually know how to do something. I never thought I could do that for something like that. So here's a great example, everybody. Cassie does nails. How in the world would she have thought, let's do nails for the longest day? Because it's something that she does, and it's something that she can do for people. And what a great way to show another way to do an event for the longest day. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Cassie. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for
So,
letting me come on.
yeah, absolutely. So Cassie, since you work for the association with the walk and you're doing your longest day, can you tell us what your story is? What got you into this? What was the reason that you became part of the association? This can be kind of a troubling time to try to talk about something, because it is very near and dear to our heart, very sad at sometimes. But I think it really helps people to hear that other people do talk about it and that no one is alone in this. And we all get the chance to share our stories and speak on behalf of our loved ones. So, Cassie, tell us a little bit, why are you part of the association?
So in 2013, I lost my grandmother to Alzheimer's disease. Um, like you mentioned, it's emotional. So I'm a crier. So when you start to see my face get a little bit puffy, I'm so sorry. I'm not a pretty crier. Um, but she was a huge part of my life growing up. Um, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. I was super lucky to have that relationship with her. And when I was in high school, and we started to notice she was forgetting her purse everywhere. And allergies too. I'm just
Hmm.
nuts today. She was forgetting her purse and she was starting to forget things. So she started making lists. She would have a list that she would carry around with her to remind her of things. And then she started forgetting the list. And so we started noticing those things. And it was finally time to have a hard conversation when she had left the stove on in their home. And, obviously that's incredibly dangerous. And so my grandparents lived in Holdridge, which was just a little southwest of Kearney. So we were lucky we got to move them up to Kearney. So they were just a couple blocks away, super close, easy to walk to, easy to drive to and visit. And as the disease progressed, she she changed. Um, we had some issues. She was the sweetest, most devout Catholic woman I've ever known in my whole life. She didn't raise her voice to anybody. She was always kind, always thoughtful. And she started getting a little bit combative, um, you know, with some of the staff, and we had to make a few changes there. But, seeing someone who, my grandma was Mexican. She spoke Spanish fluently. She worked with the ESL students in Holdridge. She helped with church. She raised 5 kids. She was a tough lady. She was tough. She was smart. She was just incredible. And so to see how she lost some of those skills and, towards the end, she just, she lost herself. Um, I was lucky to be with her. Um, when she passed, it was my dad, my grandpa, and I, and the priest. And um, I think one question that a lot of people ask is, how how does a person pass away from Alzheimer's disease? A lot of times you see it will be an addition to, it's a complication. But truthfully, my grandma was in great health. Physically, she was just on the ball. I think she could have gone on forever, truthfully. But what happens with the disease is you slowly, your brain atrophies. So you slowly start to lose the ability to do things. You see speech troubles, you see troubles with basic functions like walking. So eventually, what happens is your brain forgets to tell your body that it needs to breathe. And so that's what happened in our situation. We got to be there with her, through that process, and it was hard. It was absolutely heartbreaking. But I wouldn't change it because she was there for me through so many things. And when I think about why I do this, in 2016, a job came open with the association, and I said, I can get on board with that, you know? And so when I found out that this is what I would be doing, I thought, you know what? I can take the skills that I've learned throughout my life and I can help make a difference. I am not a scientist. You do not want me behind a microscope because I will be looking at things. I'll be like, that blob there is doing that thing again. I that is not my skill set at all. Um, But I am so happy and blessed to raise money for the association because, we were so close. My grandma and I were very, very close. And she missed my wedding. She missed her first great grandchild and she loved kids so much. So it's just one of those. I think about all the things that I missed, you know, all the things that I still wish she could be here for. And I don't want anybody else to feel that way. You know, I want my kiddo as he grows up to be able to look at my parents and to have them for all of these big moments in his life as he gets older and he learns things and he experiences life. I don't want him to ever be like, Alzheimer's disease took that from me. It took this person that was so amazing and now they're not here. There's that empty seat in everything that we do. And I think that this disease specifically is so important to raise money for and raise awareness for, because when we look at other types of diseases, there are treatments and there are cures. And unfortunately, with Alzheimer's, there isn't. There's nothing that we could have done for my grandma. We did everything we could to make sure that she was happy and she was taken care of, but there was nothing else that we could do besides watch. And so, me taking the job with the association, me raising money, as a staff person, it's not necessarily an expectation, but all of us have these deep personal connections. And so we're all passionate about, being solid examples of why it's so important to raise the money and that you can do fun things and exciting things and get involved. It's not traditional, it doesn't have to be traditional when you go out and ask, hey, would you like to donate for this? It can be something that's fun and engaging and dynamic, but it's so important because one thing the association does is research. I mean, we look at how can we help make these individuals' lives better? How can we delay symptoms so individuals have longer with their loved ones to create those precious memories? And like you and I were talking about earlier, ultimately we want to find that first survivor. That is what we are doing everything for. Um, for now, we'll support families and we'll do that. But ultimately, we are going to find that cure. We are going to celebrate that first survivor. We are going to see a day where you don't have to have people like me ugly crying on camera because they lost somebody who was precious to them because of this terrible disease. We're going to end this disease and we're going to see survivors and we're going to have people who get to love on their grandparents for a little bit longer. They're going to get to have the lives that they deserve to
Absolutely. And I have to say, you're not that ugly of a crier.
have. I appreciate it, Colin.
And you are so right. The having a parent or grandparent that ends up with this, it's I try to explain it to people in such a way that I don't think people really understand how it really works a lot of times. And I know we're doing a lot better now where we're able to get more information out for people. But Alzheimer's disease is something that is probably one of, if not one of the worst diseases that I've ever come in contact with. And the biggest problem I see with it on the front end of it is you lose your loved one twice. You lose the ability to have them know who you are once, and then you lose their life the second time around. And I'll be honest, I'm sure you're in the same boat I am. I don't know which was worse. I don't know if losing my grandmother and my mother mentally hurt more than losing them when they died. luckily, your grandmother sounded like she was a very good devout Catholic. I hope that she was able to pass that religious factor down through the generations. I know not everybody has that religious feeling, but I will say that is one thing that gave me that hope, from my grandmother and my mother. When they died, I had that hope of knowing that they knew who I was again. And I think that was better feeling for me, knowing that my grandmother and my mother were able to say, I know you again. I
Mhm.
can, because grandma was still talky, very, very different from how your grandmother was. It's amazing how the disease goes in so many different directions.
Yes.
Yours was combative and probably loud. She was loud and something that she never was. My grandmother was loud and very crazy, and then became more and wanted to run away all the time.
Uh-huh.
That
Yes,
was
we had that as well.
it was one of those things. Mom was totally opposite from that. She stopped talking. That was her first biggest thing, and then slowly cocooned into this little ball of nothing. And you're right, the disease, it's literally forgetting everything. You forget to turn off the stove, you forget your phone, you forget your purse, and it's these recurring things that happen over the time. Your body your brain just starts telling your body, I forgot how to breathe, I forgot how to pump the heart, I forgot how to do this, I forgot how, and that's kind of what, mom didn't have any problems when she died. She was very healthy. Grandma was the same way, no problems up until, I say she got old and died. That's what I say with my grandma,
Yeah.
but grandma
Yeah.
was a lot older. Mom was only in her late 50s, early 60s when she got it and died. So, the stories that we tell are, yes, very sad, and it's okay to see people cry. And I know
Mhm.
when you're probably talking with people when you're doing the nails, people do probably get emotional, and that's okay, because emotion is something that I think people really need to show when they talk about these things, not just so we get more money out of people, but because it
Right.
shows the passion behind what
Mhm.
you, myself, and everyone else out there that does stuff for the walk, the longest day, the football people, now the ice skating, everybody out there that has a connection to the disease. If you don't show your emotion, I don't, not that it doesn't show that you have a passion for it, but it does really help to show people how passionate you are to really want this to be over. I know some people just aren't emotional type of people, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you don't care. Don't get me wrong. There's just people that just don't like to cry or just don't have the ability to do it. It's how you say and deliver your message. And Cassie, regardless of you thinking you are a ugly crier, which I would have to combat that, I could see the passion and the fire in your face and your eyes and what you said. And bravo to you and your family that, you know, had to go through that, but you still fight today. And that's one thing I want to let people know, is that even though our loved ones that had the disease are gone, doesn't mean that we have to stop that fight. We still fight every day. Cassie's proof of that. I'm proof of that. And so many other people we have on the program are proof of that. We will not stop fighting until that day. And that's my whole goal in this at the end of the day. So speaking of goals, Cassie, do you have a goal in mind that you want to raise for your longest day, or just an overall goal for the association?
So for longest day, it's as simple as just $200. I say, you know what? I'm not going to do math right now, but that's enough manicures. Um, a few years ago, we talked about all the different ways that you can get involved with longest day. So a few years ago, my little one and I went around. My grandmother had a servant's heart. She was always picking up. I mean, she had 5 kids, so of course she was always picking up. But even when she'd moved into assisted living after dinner, they said that she always helped pick up the dishes. And they said, "Oh, Loopy, you don't have to do that. It's okay." And she said, "Oh, no." So she always helped pick up. She always wanted to help do laundry and fold things. That was just what she did. So we helped, we volunteered to come in and to, do dishes or vacuum or whatever that might look like. And I think our goal that year was $100. So upping it a little bit, making a little bit more of a difference. Obviously, with COVID, it's hard to just invade people's homes and say, here are all of my germs from wherever I might be. Um, but yes, we're very excited to do this. If you come to my house, you get to hang out with my kid. He's pretty exciting, and he will definitely tell you to pick the color red because that is his favorite color.
There you go. Very
Uh,
Nebraska, very Huskers.
yes, it is. It is. But yes, I have basically every color under the sun. So I'm excited to do this just as something different, a little way to wind down, kind of like we talked about. Just it's not as active and, big and out and about, but I think it allows for a little bit more one-on-one personal connection. So, that's my goal for longest day. I think we've said it 100 times and I will just keep saying it. My goal with the association is to end this disease. And I know that we can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to say, if you go to her house to get this done, y'all, oh my gosh, her kid is a hoot and a half. Holy moly. Like when I see the photos that she posts on Facebook, he's a
He
hoot. And you will have, not only will you get your nails done, but you will have entertainment for days.
So funny story about to give you an idea, his name is Fletcher and he has just enough sass like his name. He had a dance party at school yesterday and it was 60s themed. So I put him in jeans, cuffed the jeans, gave him a little plain t-shirt. He was so upset with me for putting him in jeans because he said, Mom, I cannot dance in jeans. I need comfy pants. And I said, okay, well, I was wearing jeans and I said, look, Mom can dance. So I, did a little dance for him. And he just looked at me and he goes, Mom, I can dance way better than that when I'm not wearing jeans.
And
So
there it is. And
I
there it is.
apologize for any sass you experience with him, but yes, he will make you laugh.
There it
So you
is.
get nails and a show. You can
Nails and
tip
a
him.
show. That's
Yes,
amazing. Yeah.
you
Wow.
can tip the comedy and
Yeah.
put money towards the association as well. $15 for nails, tip not included for the show that you
That's
get
right.
with it.
Absolutely. Perfect. I love it. And Fletcher's a hoot. Absolute. His photos crack me up every time I see him.
Yeah.
All right, Cassie, this is my favorite part of the program. This is where I ask if you have a fight song or an EndAlz, cry that you like to. So give us your EndAlz fight song.
So I love that you ask for a fight song. I don't have a song, but now I'm definitely going to have to think about one. Um, I'm the kind of person that makes up lyrics to songs that exist that are not that song. So I'm going to think on that and I'll get back to you.
Perfect.
But I would say 2 words, join us. That's it. Join us. It doesn't have to be for walk. It doesn't have to be for longest day. Come to an education. You know, tune in to a support group. If you need us, join us. You are not alone in this.
I love that. Join
We're
us. I mean,
right.
that really just encompasses everything that we do. Join us. You can, that's what I try to tell people. You can join Cassie in her nail little thing she's doing. You can go in, call her, Facebook or whatever, and say, hey, can I be a part of this? I'll do nails in Ogallala or Omaha. Can I be under your umbrella? And you can actually join her team. And you can do that with the walk. You can do that with the longest day. You can do it with anything. And you become a team, and the team effort can even raise more money, which is so much fun. So if somebody watching this does nails and wants to help with the longest day, get a hold of Cassie, say, hey, can I join your team? I'm in wherever. And you do the same thing, $15, nails done. And now Cassie's goal of $200 could go to $1,000. You keep adding more people, it could go to 5,000, 10,000. Think of the possibilities. So much fun. I do a 12-hour piano on June 19th this year. And if somebody else out there wants to play the piano or the guitar or an instrument or sing and wants to join my team, or better yet, make your own. It's so easy. You go up, you register. It's that easy. $20 is like what I call seed money. Get you all your awesome stuff. You get some banners, you get some of this, you get some of that, you get a t-shirt.
T-shirt.
And I love the t-shirt this year. It's so soft and breathable. June's a warm time of year. It's perfect.
Mhm.
Wash cars. Go out and sell cookies. Go do, pick up homes or your home. There's an idea. Videotape you picking your own home up. There are so many possibilities, and that's what I love. And so your slogan of join us is such a big slogan to really impact everything. Join us walk. Join us on the longest day. Join us advocate. Join us in a group. Join us to talk. Just join us. It doesn't matter. Put join us in front of whatever you'd like, and boom, you have it. Cassie, I love that slogan. That is absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to hear what song that you come up with.
Oh, yes. I'm going to start thinking about it. It's going to be
I do
catchy.
the same thing. So I love changing the words of songs. It's just so much fun. It is.
Mhm.
It really is. Especially for something like this. Someone actually asked me I should do a Longest Day, the musical. So I may write something. I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. I'll have to
If
call
you
you
do,
for a
I'll
word.
submit my song.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, wonderful. I want to thank you so much, Cassie, for joining me this week. It has been such a pleasure. I miss you because you're clear out there, but at least I get to see you on Facebook and now today. Thank you so much for doing this. I want to thank the association, and I want to thank the Longest Day Committee here in Nebraska and all over the United States, wherever they're at, for what they do, as well as I would like to highlight today the walk people. Don't forget, you can go walking, and it's super easy. Have some do you have tennis shoes? Do you have whatever? I don't walk in whatever you want. Go sign up a walk team. It is so much fun. It really is. And you get to go walk. And if you don't want to join people, walk around your neighborhood. That's what we did last year. All of our families just went and walked around the neighborhood. We walked around a lake. We walked around our town. We actually had people join with us while we were out walking, because in my town of Takema, my mom was a school teacher. She taught everybody. So when they saw us in our purple shirts with mom's name on it, they came out and joined us. And we ended up doing so much more. It was so amazing. Join the walk team. It's so much fun. If you're out west, get a hold of Cassie. Cassie will help you out because she's the walk manager for the tri-states, or I should say counties or whatever.
Cities, areas,
Areas.
all of
Try
them.
something. Try lands. We'll call you Try Lands. Yeah, you got a lot of land out there.
There is a lot of land out here. There is. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, Cassie, I'm going to give you a little opportunity. If there's anything that we didn't get a chance to talk about, or if there's something else you want everybody to know, go ahead and let us know.
You know, all I have to say is if you are on the fence, you don't know where to start, you have questions, you say, how do I support my neighbor? How do I support somebody in my congregation or at work? I've noticed. Give us a call, 800-272-3900. It's our 24/7 helpline. They are incredible. They're licensed clinicians, master's level social workers, people who know their stuff. They're employed here at the Alzheimer's Association. They're our coworkers. They're phenomenal. You get me at 3 in the morning, I am worthless. You get them at 3 in the morning, they are ready to talk. They are ready to help you, to answer questions. They are phenomenal. If you say I'm not ready for a phone call, you can visit our website. It's alz.org/Nebraska. It's going to take you directly to our page. So if you say I'm looking for a support group, I'm looking for what educations are happening this month, you want to get registered for Longest Day or for Walk, you want to become an advocate and work with your elected officials on supporting legislation that's going to ultimately help our caregivers and those living with the disease, great. Great. Join us. Join us. Call us. Stop at the website. Find us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, all of those. Alzheimer's Association Nebraska chapter. You Google it, you're going to find us. and we're just here to help. You know, I, our family, when we were facing this, we worked with our area agency on aging a lot, with all the questions that we had. We didn't know about the Alzheimer's Association, and that was in 2013. It wasn't that long ago. And so I feel like I shout this from the rooftops. Our number, our website, everything we do is free. Families never have to pay for our services because of awesome things like Longest Day. They help us. They help us support those families. We know the disease is costly, so we just want to be there for you. And Longest Day and Walk, all of these types of things help us be able to do that and to do that free of cost, so we can focus on making sure you're in the best place you can be in this disease process, without having to think about the financial piece as well. So
I love it. That's perfect. Thank you so much, Cassie.
yeah,
And
thank
everybody out there,
you.
join us. Join
Yes,
us with the fight. Join us with the nails. Join us with the music. Join us with whatever. Let's make the memory of not having memories a far distance in the past. Let's make this a today and a win and a white flower and an end to Alzheimer's and dementia. That is my hope. That's Cassie's hope. And I'm pretty sure that's everybody's hope. So thank you so much, Cassie, for joining me this week for the Spotlight Friday. I couldn't have thought for another better guest for the Spotlight this week. I'm telling you, I'm batting 1,000 right now. I have had some of the
woo!
most amazing guests on this show so far, and I can't thank you enough. And to bring in Western Nebraska to the show, it's amazing. I want to showcase everybody from coast to non-coast. Panhandle, there we'll go from the
Right.
coast to the panhandle, and this has given me the opportunity to do that. So thank you so much, Cassie. I just am so pleased that you could join us today and highlight a little bit about the walk as well. So many ways to be part of it, and like you said, join us. And that is the best way that anybody can be part of anything at all. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me and our Spotlight guest, Cassie, this week. It was so good to see you. It's so good to have you. And as always, stick around just for a little bit, because the Alzheimer's Association has a little bit of a message from you all about the longest day. We'll see you next week.
The longest day is the day with the most light, the summer solstice. On June 20th, help us stand up to the darkness of Alzheimer's by raising funds for the care, support, and research efforts of the Alzheimer's Association. It's easy. Pick any activity you enjoy and turn it into a fundraiser to fight Alzheimer's. From bowling to basketball and card games to crafts, any activity can be part of the longest day. Your family, friends, colleagues, and the Alzheimer's Association are here to support you along the way. Together, we can get closer to our ultimate goal, the first survivor of Alzheimer's. The day with the most light is the day we fight. Start now. Select your activity at alz.org/thelongestday.